That's right.
Yeah. Lucky enough.
I know I you always have it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Sure.
You look at this.
Let's go ahead and stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. We have all 5 members present, so we have a quorum here. First item on the agenda is to approve the agenda.
So. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Public comments, since we have a larger group, I'll read out what our public comments says in the agenda. This time is set aside for public comments for county business topics. To be recognized, raise your hand or stand. After recognition by the chair, state your name and address. You may speak one time per issue. If the comment is for an item not on the agenda, please understand the Board of Supervisors will not act on your comments at the open meetings law requirements, but may do so at a future board meeting by placing it on the agenda. The chair and the board members welcome comments from the public. However, all comments must be directed to the board and not others in attendance. Keep your comments germane. It is not appropriate to use profane, obscene, or slanderous language. No personal attacks will be allowed. The chair may limit each speaker to 3 minutes. So I'll go ahead and open up public comments. Just raise your hand if you'd like to speak. Go ahead.
My name's Barb Jordan, and I'm part of the group that got the petition and that was presented to you guys last week. And I understand that it's on the second agenda, but there's no public comment on the agenda, so that's why I'm talking now. I sent a text to each one of you about our position and way we did the petition, because as all of you know, there's no form. It's a form that you develop on your own, and you talk to people in the county, and that's what we did. It's got the 930 signatures. My concern, and a lot of people's concern, is that the agenda that you have for the actual petition says discussion of possible action to accept or reject the petition filed last August 10th. And a conflict of interest. I don't know if you guys read about that. I know you guys searched, contacted Secretary of State. We contacted Secretary of State. We're all trying to interpret the law. I don't know if any of you guys are attorneys. I always thought it was that if you don't know the law, you need to contact your attorney, county attorney, riskful attorney for you guys. But I just want to read. I searched on Ask Anything on Google. I'm really getting to know Google as my friend, and you can learn a lot from it. And then, of course, research more after that. But I researched conflict of interest. A conflict of interest is a situation where a person's interest, person's personal, financial, or relations ties might interfere with their ability to prepare objective decisions in their professional or official role. And if it does, if you feel you have a conflict, then you need to remove yourselves from any discussions, debates, or votes regarding this situation. And my understanding, of course, talking with people, is this petition is not even supposed to be voted on. It's supposed to be actually delivered to your clerk, the official, for actually going through it and seeing if it's valid, if it should be accepted. That's not your decision. So I ask that you remove your agenda to discuss it and file the petition with the Tama County clerk or Tama County auditor. Thank you.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
Bob Focoon, to me, it's real simple. The people want to have a voice and they want to vote. Whether we go back to 3 or we go back to 5. Stay at 5, I'm sorry. Very simple. It was presented a few years back. What argued? They said, okay, that's the will of the people. We put it on the agenda. We vote on it in November. The same way with this. You know, we keep talking about the will of the people. Well, I'm pretty sure the people have spoken through Tama County, and there's a lot more. We had sheets that disappeared. We've had people that are afraid to sign because they're afraid of what's going to happen to them. What bothers me is why people have to feel that way in Tama County. What do they have to be scared of that's going to happen to them from people or neighbors or anybody from the board or from their employer for going for or against something? They should be able to say what they want, when they want, and give their opinions, and everybody should work together and get along. I'm tired of hearing this stuff about people being scared and afraid for their jobs. That's a bunch of crap. Very simple. Let the people vote. Very simple. We shouldn't have to be having this big discussion. There were the names, the signatures, everybody that's been talking about it ever since it happened. A lot of people didn't understand it. Maybe there'll be people that don't understand it this time. They don't know how to vote or what they're voting for. You can educate the people. Let them make up their mind. I don't tell people, you vote how you want. If you think that there should be 5, then you vote to stay 5. If you think there should be 3, vote to stay 3. But it's very simple, folks. Plain and simple. Let it be on the ballot. Let the people decide. It's the will of the people. And everybody knows that I never felt that there needed to be 5. And I said way back when, and I believe I was quoted in the paper too. I don't believe that there needs to be 5, but if the people vote, there needs to be 5. It's the will of the people. That's what we go with. We work with it. Here again, do it and see what happens. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Go ahead.
My name is Mary Sherman, I live in Toledo. Whether you're on, regardless of which side you're on, you guys have a job for the voters in Tama County. I think that enough people have spoken out. It is your duty to let everybody have a voice. So I think that's what you need to remember, whether 2 of you have a job in the end or not, that's not up for debate here. It's your job to make sure that you're representing the vote, representing the voters in Tama County.
Thank you. Anybody else? Go ahead.
Bill Hardlock, most people know me. Last August, I had a meeting with Mark. I think you remember that meeting well. I hope you remember what you said in that meeting, told me at the end of the meeting about supervisors. And I agree with Barb. After what she has said, I don't think the supervisors should be voting on it. We obviously didn't need to vote on it back when we did, but we've seen it, we accepted it, and put it on the ballot. And I think that's what needs to happen today.
Thank you. Anybody else? Go ahead in the back. Thank you. Go ahead.
Kendall Jordan, I just want to say that you guys do have a direct conflict of interest with this because it doesn't affect one of you individually. So it impacts your income, but you guys shouldn't be voting on this.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I just got a question procedurally though, then how do you think that it gets put on the ballot?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
How does it? It's actually goes to the county auditor. And then if she approves it, then yeah, it should be put on the ballot and you guys should put it on the ballot. It goes to the commissioner of elections, to put it on the ballot. That'd be a question that you need to talk to your county attorney or your risk pool attorney. If you have a question about that code, and I know you're good about following codes, which is great. But that's a question. I'm not an attorney. So I can't tell you how to direct and go from here. That's something you need to decide as a 5-group person. I just know, and as I said in my text, what was taken from that code, and I know that code pretty good now, but whether I want to ever see it again is another thing. But the conflict of interest is probably the biggest thing versus that code at this point in time. You need to let the process go forward, not stop it as a board of supervisor.
True, but the petition was filed with the governing body, which is us.
We didn't file it, we presented it to
Okay,
you.
ex-
If we're
Yeah,
getting
word for
technical.
report, that's right.
Yeah.
You presented it to us, it was, so we received it, but not accepted it. So how do we accept it without board action? Because I think if you get in trouble with if we get sued, you have to have some kind of board action. And the code specifically says the board of supervisors, so any board of supervisors that's presented with the petition, when they all have a conflict of interest.
Again, you file it with the county auditor's office and go from there.
Who does?
You guys do.
How do we do that?
File it, hand it to her.
So that suffices the law, we stand it to her?
Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm just saying that you guys shouldn't decide whether it's valid or not by objecting to it. Okay, whether 2 of you accept it or 3 of you object it or reject it, and let the people of Tama County, if they want to object to it, file their objections within the 5 days of filing it with county attorney.
I think we're on the same page there. I don't think that that's the way that the legal process is supposed to work. I think we've got very clear indications from the Secretary of State's office, as well as our county.
County attorneys,
Yes.
okay,
Yep, our county attorney given them.
okay.
I'd say the easiest way is just to vote to accept it, then file it with the auditor and let the people vote.
Right, I think that's what,
That's a simple.
I think we have to vote.
I agree with you. But the school vote.
But you're saying you have to vote?
The board has to vote.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the code that it comes to us. It never says give it to them until the very end of the process. The very end, like, so we accept or reject it. It
Okay,
goes there.
so, again, you're interpreting it one way, we're interpreting it another way, okay?
And we also talked to the Secretary of State as well, and the same person that gave you that response.
Right.
Changed their response and said the supervisor
Right.
does right after you. So.
Right, I've got all the
So we've got
emails,
all conflicting,
right, so it's just all depends, and I'm not sure why she
Yeah.
backpedaled
so
after she
procedure,
talked to you guys, I'm not sure about that.
procedurally, we are just going to look at it and make sure all those required fields are there. And in my mind, it's gonna go on the ballot at that point, as long as no one contests it.
Yeah, I think there's some major misunderstanding.
Right.
You guys are overreacting bigger.
I think it's the other way around.
No. We're just helping her verify the signatures. There's no, we're not here to vote yes or no. If they're all legal, I think it's a yes vote. I mean, we're not here to vote no.
I got a copy of the code.
No. I'm talking our intentions are not to vote yes or no. Our intentions are to verify the signatures. If they all verify, we were gonna vote yes.
Cause like in here, it
It's
says,
not, how can we vote no if they're not?
Well, but your agenda doesn't say that. It says to action to accept or reject the petition.
We were gonna accept it if they are.
and I think we could amend that for filing. I think, I noticed that too. We could accept or reject it for filing, right? Because then our last step is we'd have to put it on the ballot, right?
Okay, so can I just read the part of the code for everyone? So, because I'm sure there's a lot of people didn't Google it. Or I'm lucky enough, I work for an attorney's office, so I have the actual code.
Mhm.
So, 331.306 petitions for eligible electors. Subsection 3. A petition shall be examined before it is accepted for filing. If it appears valid on its face, it shall be accepted for filing. If it lacks the required number of signatures, it shall be returned to the petitioners. Petition, I might go on to 4. Petitions which have been accepted for filing are valid unless written objections are filed. Objections must be filed with the county auditor within 5 working days after the petition was filed. And then if objection process in section 44.7 shall be followed for objections filed pursuant to this section, which the objection board process would be the county attorney, the county auditor, and the county treasurer. I'm not sure where it's saying where you have to find out whether or not the signatures are correct. And you'll see on there, we went through it and made sure that the person on there lives in Tama County, 18 years old. The whiteouts were people, we couldn't read their names or addresses. If you couldn't identify who that person was, we whited them out. And there was, because people went out, there was people that signed it 2 or 3 times. We whited out their names. That's why there's whiteouts on there, because we went through it. It took hours, just like I'm sure I heard some people took hours to go through it. But that's where we're at. So you're reading more into it, I believe, says the petition shall be examined before it's accepted for filing. And if it appears valid on its face, it should be accepted. And when you say that, let's see. Well, I don't have the meaning of face, of its face, but it basically says if it looks correct, then you should file it with the auditor's office.
So
It's not saying you should go great detail, to find out everybody's on there, and go ahead, you should
and
find out.
that's not what we're doing. So back to that 331.306. Number 1, the last sentence, the petition shall include the signatures of the petitioners, a statement of their place of residence, and the date on which they signed the petition. That's the main item. When we go through, we're just making sure, did they do each of those things? If it's blank, then they didn't do that, right? That would be
Right.
crossed off. And
And that
probably,
was
if you already
crossed
did that, that's great.
Right,
We're just double checking that is, those are the required information. We're not gonna go like, look at the assessor thing like you did. We're not gonna go look at that. We are just saying, did they put a signature or print their name? Did they put a statement of their place of residence, and did they put a date?
right.
That's what we're planning to do in that meeting. If they did,
So you're gonna go through every 930 signatures during that meeting.
make sure there's no blanks, right? If one of those items, if there's no date, if there's no signature, if there's no address, then yes, that's all we would do, in my mind, I guess.
Well, and I think we have a conflicting of what your place of residence is also.
Correct, that's been a mess too, and the reason this meeting was scheduled, the second one, is because originally the Secretary of State, they said that, that city is required. Because like nomination.
It doesn't say that in the code, if
I
we're following the
agree,
code.
I agree, and that's why I went to the Secretary of State, because I wanted their answer. Nomination papers, like if someone's applying, trying to run for an office, if they don't put a city, it's rejected, and there's a clear code that actually says that.
Right.
Like they changed it recently, yes, so they've recently changed that, so we're like, does that apply to a petition? Is that the same thing? And the original gal told us yes. And so that's the reason we put on the agenda. They wanted us to go through and mark everything that showed no city and reject those. So that's the whole reason
But
behind.
that's not
why
your
we-
job to do that.
Again, that was the message we got from the Secretary of State. Then you
And
got
that's
your
not-
message.
And
which
that's
was
not my message
conflicting,
either.
And so then we
Right.
backed up, and then we talked to the, sent another clarifying email and got kind of the same, except that the Board of Supervisors do get it first. And then it goes, to this other team if it gets subjected. So it changed just a little bit after, but
But this is the code, in my understanding, it wasn't even changed from 2022. This is the same code section. And place of residence, we put at the top of it, Tama County residence. People read that and put their street address, which can clearly be stated their Tama County residence. I understand you want it all because some people didn't put their towns.
yeah, we were
Is
just.
that,
No,
We were
that's-
just trying
that's
to make
not
sure.
our
we followed the
understanding.
code, Yeah,
If we're not going to reject entries that are lacking a city origin.
because it's on.
So again-
But we're also not gonna look for it,
Isn't
like
that what
it's,
you want?
what's that?
Isn't that what you want? We're
I do, but you guys are
we're-
giving us such misinformation. Am I the only one hearing this? I'm so confused about what you're saying. You're gonna follow the rules. Then you said the Secretary of State said it has to have the address with the town.
the
They
first
did.
one.
And then they
Then they
came back and they changed it. So that's why there was confusion. So right now, we're under the understanding that we're not striking any entries because of not having it.
And again, why are you having an agenda specifically for this petition?
To accept it.
Because it says
Or
that
reject.
we need to make sure it's valid. So valid means it has those 3 items. We're not gonna say nitpick, does it have city, is it printed or signature? We're just making sure that the columns have something in it. If they don't,
Can I have one of you explain to me, what does it mean in your eyes, in your mind, valid on its face? What does that mean to you?
I
What does
think
that mean? I'm confused.
so. It clearly states it out in the filing officer guide. Let's see.
There's guidance from the Secretary of State on that particular issue.
I wanted it from you guys, so that's fine. I'm done.
It just says in the filing officer guide, in all cases, which is what the Secretary of State told us also to look at. In all cases, petitions are accepted if they appear to be valid on their face. This means that the filing officers must inspect the petitions to ensure they are legally sufficient and that the required information is included. The information presented on the petitions must be accepted on its face. This does not mean the petition should not be examined. So it means we need to look at it. Our understanding is we are the filing officers initially. And then once we say, yep, they fill in all their blocks, it goes there. If it gets objected within the 5 days, then those 3 members, as you listed. Like, I think we're on the same page. I think we both got conflicting answers from the Secretary of State, but we all ended up with the same contact giving us direction, and our county attorney as well. So. Yep.
Can I speak again?
Sure.
I just have a question. So from your words, what do you feel you have to do with this petition? You have to look at every single line?
We're just gonna make sure that there's something listed for signature, statement of residence, and date.
And that's,
So, yep, and we're gonna do it parallel with the auditor's office because we might as well get some help doing it to go through all of them, and we're just gonna look through it. Say, yep, they have enough signatures, if it only throws out 2, then obviously we would just accept it.
so that would be
And
done
it
at
would-
this next meeting.
It's 1103 to 90th Street, and what are the required amount of signatures for this?
Like, is it 862 or something? 862. And 930 were submitted. Anybody else? Go ahead.
Karen, I wasn't here last week, so this is kind of a neat thing today for me. It's been my experience in my decades of life that when something tries to be shoved through in a big hurry, it should be suspect. That's called salesmanship. It's called salesman. I don't think you guys came in here to reject this today. But I do think you have the right to look at it, think about it, talk about it. There's been so many closed sessions in the last 5 years that most of these people in here don't realize that that's been normal. And nobody gets upset or irritated about it. We just know that you guys have stuff that is not for the public. So today, this is an open session meeting. Everybody gets to hear everything that's going on. I don't understand why all these people are here or what their intention is, because you guys have the right as a board, 5-member board, just like every other board has, 5 members in this county, probably in most of the state of Iowa. You have the right to talk about this and not be badgered or pushed into a corner. Again, I wasn't here last week, so I'm not biased one way or the other. At this point, I just want you guys to be able to do due process and not be harassed into doing something because there's a crowd of people. There's also 16,000 people that aren't here in this county right now. Thank you. And make sure that everybody gives their name when they speak. They should be identifying themselves.
Thank you. Anybody else? Go ahead.
Russ Peterson, I live at 2169 Docks Drive. I want to dig just what she said. I haven't been here for this either. So, and I was under the impression that you have an agenda here today to take care of. And the meeting that follows is supposed to be the feedback that I'm hearing now. So, I don't understand why this is coming up now. I think it should come up later. I think the supervisors have done their say. And we're going to have the meeting at 9:30, and that's probably where we supervisors for only 2 years, it's not a long time to see how effective it is and how it's working. So again, I'm not understanding why there's so objection to this. I haven't heard one thing yet that said why people are objecting to 5 over 30. So I'd like to kind of have you move ahead, take care of your agenda now, and carry it on into our next meeting.
Thanks, Chris. And we do not have public comments in the next session, so that's where we just figured we had this meeting directly before, and the other's more of a due process, so we figured if you want to speak on it, it's completely fine to speak now, so.
And I agree with that, but
Yeah.
I think you have an agenda to take
For
care
sure.
of now. And it probably should be taken care of, that this matter should carry over into the 9:30.
Different topic?
Well, it's the same topic, but
Okay.
this.
Go ahead.
Bob Vokoon, already know that. Again, it's very simple. Yeah, there are obviously a lot of different objections, different ideas from the people of Tama County because they want this put to a vote. My understanding, and you can all correct me if I'm wrong, does it even need to come to a petition? Can the board just decide that they want to put it on for a vote in November without having a petition? That's been brought before. And obviously, the people of Tama County want to have a say and want to have a vote. It could go either way. Let the people decide. It's real simple. We don't have to have all these discussions about what they're ticking you guys about or what's going wrong or what the budget's like. It comes down to the people want to vote if we want to go back to 3 supervisors or stay with 5. It's a plain, simple question. Gets put on the ballot. We don't need to have all this discussion. You can if you want, but it's not that hard. You make things way too hard. It's a plain and simple thing. You put it on the ballot for the people to decide to know. Plain and simple.
Go ahead.
H. Coster, 501 South Lower Private 162, 52342. You need to honor what this petition and put it on the ballot. You got your fingers in too much stuff anyway in Tama County. You need to honor this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I address it. I guess one big concern I have, why we need to get back down to 3 is cost. You people are always yelling, we need to cut costs. Cut 2 supervisors out cuts a big cost out of the county budget. And it just needs to be done.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
I don't think we're talking about costs and expenses, because the Tama County Board of Supervisors, have they increased the taxes on agricultural ground in the last 2 years?
No,
So there may be a savings there because we haven't increased the agricultural tax. That's possible. I think you guys have done a good job and you're diversified in what you do. You have, everybody up there has different strengths in different areas. And I think that's very important. That's all.
Hey, Jim. Just to add into that, as we know from the past, we came in and 2 weeks into our term, 4 of us, we were negative 950,000. The prior board had budgeted. So since then, you know, I've compared January to January and July to July, so you have to do same months to compare. And I know that July to July, 2025 to 2026, we went up by $3.7 million in the county's budget as a whole. So I think a lot of the things we did to pull back some money and to negotiate on different items, there's a lot of things this board has done. So I definitely, the 130 to 200,000 for 2 supervisors, we've well and surpassed that for several years. Plus, we got David over here doing IT interim, which is free of cost to the county instead of having to hire 2. So just to add in on that with the cost.
So I have been able to sit in on many of the budget meetings. Anybody could have. Nobody wanted to take the time to do that. And you guys have gone through everything in a fine-tooth comb. Not very many employees and doesn't know that. A lot of them were just sent into other departments. You did not have to crash departments and eliminate them. You were able to move around the people that needed to stay, people that wanted to stay, and give them nice salaries, huge benefits of $40-some thousand a year in benefits. We are one of the highest counties. How do I know this? Because I've been to these meetings in benefits, health benefits, all benefits. And I've heard that so many times from our insurance reps that come in here, how well Tama County rewards their employees for staying, working here in the county. We have a large area of space for only 3 supervisors to cover. So I'm glad we have 5, but that's not my vote today. I don't have anything to do with that. But I just want people to know, who have not been here for 5 years now, that you guys have done an awesome job. You've saved money, you redirected money, you brought us out of the hole. We're to the point where now we can flow forward. One of the biggest things that you managed to save, keep, and redirect and plan in the future for, that these people in here may not know, is law enforcement. And we are living in, if anybody listens to the news, please do. There's a newsman here today, but we would like you to listen to the news. We're in a very scary time of impending war. A lot of illegal immigration and a lot of crime. That I just am so grateful that our law enforcement in Tama County has been able to hold. You listen to what's going on in other counties in just this state. Let's just stay in Iowa. We're so blessed to have a good department, sheriff and police in these towns that protect us. Because if they didn't protect us, we wouldn't be having this meeting. And nobody would be sitting in this room, not even you 5. We're so blessed. And I hope that continues. And thank you for making sure that our law enforcement people have enough money to keep going forward, even if it means taking a little bit out of somewhere else. God bless all 5 of you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Got one in the front here.
And I would like to say thank you to all 5 of you for letting us talk to you and you respond back. Because in the past, it was, they just looked at you and they said, no comment. Meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. So it's an open conversation here. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I'm Karen Tickey, 1103 290th Street. I think we need to put it up for a vote and just let the people decide.
One more time. We can all sit here and discuss all this stuff and all these issues. That can be done before the November vote. It's plain and simple. Just let the people vote. That's the issue here today. There's a lot of people doing a good job. I thank all you folks for the job that you're doing. You know, it's not easy. You got to put up with a lot of stuff, listen to people, and it's plain and simple. Just put it to the vote. We're not here to discuss how good everybody is or how bad something might be. That can all be discussed for November and people can make the decision. Plain and simple question is today is, can we put it on the ballot? That's what needs to be done and let the people of Tama County decide.
That's kind of what I said earlier. That's what was gonna happen. You guys didn't have to come today. We're not having a second meeting to find a way out of this. We're just doing what we thought the state wanted us to do. It's not a yes, no vote at 9:30. It's not a yes, no vote. It is, we're gonna make sure all the boxes are filled, and if they're done right, it's gonna go on. You're saying, you're sitting there talking about wasting time, you're wasting an hour of our time already. We could be done with the 9:30 meeting.
But it's not a waste of time for people to voice their opinion.
We told you though, you voiced your opinion on the wrong situation.
You didn't tell us till this morning.
About what?
Some of you never got back to us.
Yeah.
About what? It says discuss possible action on the.
And that's why we're here. That's why we're here, because we read the agenda. That's all, Kurt.
Well,
Thank you.
okay, yeah.
Anybody else? Who hasn't spoke yet? We've taken quite a while. Has anybody not spoke that would like to? Takers? Okay, we do have another public comments later. So let's go ahead and close public comments. Next item, discuss, approve 8/10/26 regular minutes.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, engineer road projects report.
Okay, obviously, last week it rained a lot, so did a bunch of maintenance stuff, worked on bladed when they could, sprayed when we could, mowed when we could. And then, see what else we got here. We didn't get no ditching done last week with the blades, so it's still out there today, so I don't know, chance of rain again tomorrow. Majority of the time is spent in maintaining. So fix what we broken and let's get everything serviced up. Spot blading was completed, did a little spot rocking on some muddy spots. I know I had some calls. And the last week, guys wanted to haul corn, etc. We did a little bit of spot rocking there and stuff. We're working on the E29 bridge abutment. And I got some finalized paperwork to go through today. Go down there with them and, be able to get that on the roster, hopefully here quick. L Avenue, I know we filled in some of those bad spots with some, millings to get that by for a little bit. And then as soon as we get this 29 deal done, we're gonna go there, so. Hopefully, people up there by they'll have a little bit of patience. I know I got a couple calls on it, so. Maybe I think an email to or something, I don't remember, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at in a nutshell.
I had one call and on my way back from Cedar Rapids, I did the drive-by, it needs work, but can't do it until, the road's not muddy, so.
I know it's not the county, but Casey Schmidt put out a post today, Highway 63, today they're gonna start busting the concrete up, so it's gonna be undrivable on the pavement part, that, can risk damaging your vehicle if you do, so only the people that directly live on it will have, shoulder access to get out, going the direction of traffic, but otherwise avoid that area. I know some people still take it. It's gonna be, till August 28th, I think is their time period. It'll be busted up, so beware of that as well. Anybody else? Okay. Next item, IT projects report. David, anything for today to update the group?
We're putting a new switch in what it's gonna be Casey's new office. And we're waiting for some programming from CSS. And then we'll have that taken care of. Basically, a lot of our equipment has been sitting on the floor and we're putting everything in cabinets and moving them up off the floor. So that's what we're doing in the sheriff's office. Hopefully we'll have it done next week.
Anything else?
No, sir. No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Discussion possible action regarding any public comments pertaining to the Essential Services Advisory Council year-end report.
So I placed that on your agenda, since they turned in that annual report. Yours, you have it on your agenda for anybody from the public to make comments on it if they'd like.
Okay, so we'll go ahead. Is there any public comments on the Tim County EMS System Essential Services Advisory Council FY26 report? I think there is some copies up here, but does anyone have any comments specifically to that?
Required a public hearing.
No public hearing, just public comment.
And we have 14 days from the date it was given to us
So that would be.
to set it up. Okay.
Yep.
Pretty good?
It was 14 days from when they gave it to you, so that would be today.
Okay, hearing none, we'll close public comment time for that topic. They didn't need any action further than that, right?
Already accepted.
Okay. Next item, discussion possible action on updated Tama County Safety Manual.
I asked for that to be tabled last week to give me a chance to go through it. I've gone through it. I think there's no problems with what we have here, so I'll make a motion that we approve.
Same with you, I read that too, because I didn't get time. I don't have any against either, so
You second it?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion possible action on temporary liquor license for Traveling Tapster LLC.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna be out of Tama County Market out there south of Chelsea, so I would make the motion that we accept it for them.
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion approved claims.
We have claims this week in the amount of 138, 454 period 27, $138,454.27. I mean, motion that we approve it.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, discussion possible action, supervisor reports. Anyone have any, updates, from your board meetings that you cover?
I don't have any either. I am waiting on 2 contracts to come in for cameras. And, I got an email from the owner of the company. He had to go through another board so we get tax exempt. So we should have that this week. That's for the sheriff's West Annex and for K Avenue maintenance.
The only thing I have is the Heartland Insurance Fall Seminar. If you guys want to put on your calendar is Thursday, September 10th at 9:30. Kind of an all-day agenda, and the lawyers come in and, do different topics as well. So go ahead and either let me know or let Judy know. I think there was a form sent out to everybody, but yeah, go ahead and get signed up for that. Starts at, I think 9:30 is like kind of registration check-in, and then it's slightly after that it starts. I don't know if it's 10 roughly. Yeah, I think that's all I have as well. Okay, we're gonna open back up the last round of public comments. Is there any further public comments? Please raise your hand.
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
So this group did not necessarily, from what I understand, have to present it to the board. They could have presented it to the auditor. It's like anybody running for office. They bring their paperwork in, they give it to the auditor verifies it. Me, that's the filing officer. That is such a gray area that you need to understand. They did it out of common courtesy to present it to you guys, not because they had to. That's all I have to say.
I think before you go, Maureen, is just, and the reason we did that is Iowa Code. Number 2, it actually clearly does, like that one, it's black and white. Petitions authorized by this chapter shall be filed with the Board of Supervisors.
All right.
Not but
I did
later
not
than
see that.
So that's the only reason there.
All right.
It's just kind of that, who's the filing officer, who does what, we got conflicting information. But again, I think
Shall be
we're,
what?
shall be filed with
With
the
the
Board of
board.
Supervisors.
Okay.
And then if it would have said, then hand over to the auditor, we gladly would have done that. Like I said, it's not like we're, we all would do the same thing here. We're all trying to do the right thing, and we just gotta follow the code.
You gotta remember that appearances wise, it's an extreme conflict of interest, like they said. But that's it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I think that'd be up to the state to change that. There's a lot of things in the code that would be nice, like it comes to us and it's a topic about us. I get it, but it's what's in the code. Accept it on face value, but then validate it. Again, those are contradicting things. Like I feel like the state, we need to put in with our representatives to really update this code to make it a lot more clear, because for me, like you guys too, it should be black and white. Here's a petition, here's what happens. It happens. I don't feel like it. We spent a week, some of us, trying to just like you guys, try to work through all these things, and Karen, and it's a lot of work. If it was just black and white, it just would have been like, this is how it is. We're trying to follow the right process, so. Go ahead, Karen.
Different topics. Thank you five for kind of each of you taking your own specialty and being willing to experiment and change out and come, you know, practice. It's always been to save money. For instance, the coffee machines. David's done an excellent job just finding out what was available and then backing out of it. It wasn't working. Thank you. A lot of boards would not do that. They just jump in and leave. Also, thanks for keeping expenses so much lower than they used to be. Most of the time, they're under 400,000. A lot of times they're under 200,000 per week. That's so amazing. They used to be up to $900,000 a week. People don't love it. And the last thing is K Avenue. So a lot of people have been driving on 63, just going around the barricades. And so it's nice and flat right now and no dust. So before you tear it all back up again, please, just kind of work with the road and with the traffic. That's just not my comment. I actually don't drive on K Avenue very much. I don't have to, but comments from other people are when it's nice and flat like a highway, just leave it alone before you go back out there and tear it up again, please. And, maybe it'll quit raining and then it'll get dusty again, but it's been, you know, it hurt me to just slow down to the speed limit that's posted on that road, which is 35. It's drivable, but you can't drive 55 and 65 on K Avenue or any other gravel road. My gosh. So, thank you for all the road work that you are checking into week after week, and now for month after month, and for Hillsborough. Roads, guys, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Last chance for public comments. Okay, we'll close public comments. I think we hit everything, unless you guys see anything else. Otherwise,
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
motion and second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, we are adjourned at 9:17 a.m. Gonna have obviously a break until our 9:30 a.m. and we'll come back for our second meeting. Thank you, everybody.